Welcome back. Now, in the previous session, we have seen the structure as well as the construction and symbol of an SCR or a silicon controlled rectifier. Now, today we will be seeing mainly the working or the modes of operation of an SCR. See, the working of an SCR can be mainly explained under three different modes. Now, we will see each modes one by one. Okay, so here we are going to explain the different modes of operation, different modes of operation of SCR. Okay, it's a very important area with which we can clearly understand the basic concepts of power electronics actually. Okay, so there are mainly three modes of operation for an SCR. We will be looking through that, and I am not naming that mode right now. We will name that particular mode once I explain the working part. Okay, so considering the first mode of operation. Okay, I am drawing our SCR. SCR is a 4-layered 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a P region, N region, again P region, N region. I have a terminal anode, I have a terminal cathode, I have a terminal gate here. Okay. Okay. So this is an, what do you call, this is a layered structure of an SCR. Now I am going to give supply to this SCR. Now let's see how I am going to give this supply. Here assume that this is the supply I am giving to this SCR. Okay, the anode of an SCR is given to a negative supply or the negative of a battery, and cathode of the SCR is given to the positive terminal of the battery. And here I have one more terminal, here no connection. That means the gate here it is kept open. No connection is given to the gate. That means in this particular mode, anode is connected to the negative terminal of the battery, cathode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Now we will analyze the working at every junction. Which are the three junctions? The three junctions are junction J1, we have junction J2, we have junction J3. Okay, we have these different junctions. Now let's analyze each layer. So here I can say the negative terminal is connected to the P region. So I can say that the P region is mostly connected to the negative polarity. So it is getting more negative charges, right? Now N region, that means P and N is actually to this negative. This P and this N is mainly connected to this positive. So even though N is also connected to this negative terminal, compared to the P, N is far away, right? So here the P region will be having more negative, and this N region, it would be negative, but it would be less compared to the P region. Why? Because this negative is directly connected to the P region. N is also within its effect. That's all. Okay. Similarly here, this positive terminal is connected directly to the N region. So I can say that the N region would be more positive. More positive will be getting to the N region. And what about the P region? P region is also under the influence of this positive charge, but would be less compared to that of the N layer. So here, is it okay? That means here negative terminal is directly connected to the P region. That means this P layer is directly under the influence of the negative terminal of the battery. So I can mark 2 negative here. So actually it is not 2 negative. This 2 negative is marked in order to make you understand that P layer is more negative compared to that of the N layer. That's all. Similarly here, this N layer is more positive because it is directly connected to the positive terminal compared to this P region. Okay. So now this is the case. Now let's analyze every junction. Consider the junction J1. Consider the junction J1. What about the biasing of the junction J1? See, at the junction J1 here I have P region and N region. P region is more negative compared to the N region. So what type of biasing is it? P is more negative compared to the N means that junction is reverse biased. Okay, that junction is reverse biased. Now let's analyze the junction J2. What is happening to this junction J2? This is the junction J2, right? This junction. At this junction you can see that N region is negative and P region is positive. Isn't it? So P is positive compared to the N region. So you can say that the junction J2 is forward biased. Now coming to the junction J3. This junction. Here you can see that P region is positive, N region is also positive. But which is more positive? N region. So you can see that the N region is more positive compared to the P region, or the P region is less positive compared to the N region. So what type of biasing is it? It is reverse biasing. Clear? So we got that junction J1 is reverse biased. That means no conduction is possible here. Okay. Now junction J3. Junction J3 is also reverse biased. That means no conduction is possible here. There is no conduction possible in these two junctions. What about the junction J2? Junction J2 is forward biased. That means there is conduction possible between this. Here conduction is possible because the junction J2 is forward biased. Whereas the junction J1 and the junction J3 are reverse biased. No conduction is possible between this layer. So what does that indicate? It indicates here no current will be flowing through this device. Why? Because junction J2 is junction J1 is reverse bias, junction J3 is also reverse bias. No current from this terminal can flow. No current can flow. Why? Because this junction J1 and junction J3 are reverse biased. So when you say that no current flows through the device, you can say that that device is in the off condition. Device is not conducting. That means the device is under off condition, or otherwise you can say that that device is blocking. Okay. When the device is on, you can say that the device is conducting. But when the device is off, you can say that that device is blocking. Clear? So now let's see. Now let's name this mode. We have to name this mode, right? So what type of biasing is given to this device? Anode is given negative. Cathode is given positive. What type of biasing is it? It is reverse biasing, isn't it? Whenever an anode is connected to negative and cathode is connected to positive, that type of biasing is actually what biasing? Reverse biasing. So, and during this mode of operation, this device is blocking. Okay. So, under reverse biased condition, an SCR is blocking. So, this mode of operation is called reverse blocking mode. So I can say that under reverse blocking mode, anode is connected to the negative terminal, cathode is connected to the positive terminal, and gate is given open. Under this condition, junction J1 and junction J3 will be reverse biased and junction J2 will be forward biased. Since the junctions J1 and J3 are reverse biased, the device will not conduct, or the device will be under off condition, or we can say that the device is blocking. So this mode of operation is called reverse blocking mode. Is it okay? Okay, so this is the first mode of operation of an SCR. Now let's see the next mode of operation. Now let's see the second mode of operation. Again, let's draw the layered structure of an SCR. it has three terminals: anode, cathode and gate. Anode, cathode, gate. Layers are P, N, P, N. The junctions are J1, J2, J3. So now this is the case. Now let's see how I am giving the biasing. Okay. Okay, I have given the biasing like this. Like this means what? Anode is connected to the positive terminal, cathode is connected to the negative terminal, and the gate is kept open. That means no connection is given to the terminal gate. Now let's analyze what is happening inside these layers. Here, like the previous case, I can write the positive terminal is directly connected to the P region. So I can say that the P region will be more positive. That means 2 plus. And the N region will also be positive but less positive compared to this P region. Now the negative is directly connected to this N region. So I can mark it as more negative. And P region is also negative but it would be less negative. Now let's analyze each junction. What about junction J1? Junction J1, while analyzing the junction J1, I can say that P is positive, N is also positive. But P is more positive compared to N. That means P region is more positive compared to the N region. So what type of biasing? Yes, forward biasing. So junction J1 is forward biased. Now let's see about junction J2. Junction J2. At junction J2, it is very clear that N region is positive and P region is negative. That means N layer is positive compared to the P layer. What type of biasing it is? It is reverse biasing. So junction J2, it is reverse biased. Now coming to junction J3. Coming to junction J3. And the junction J3, we can see that P is negative, N is also negative, but N is more negative compared to P. So N region is more negative compared to the P region. So what type of biasing? Yes, it is forward biased. Okay, now we can say that the junction J1, it is forward biased. That means it can conduct. So conduction is possible. If a current flows like this, it is permitted to flow like this. No problem. Now what about junction J2? Junction J2 is reverse biased. That means this junction will not permit current flow. What about junction J3? Junction J3 is forward biased. That means it is also ready to conduct. Okay. So your junction J1 is ready to conduct. Junction J3 is also ready to conduct. But what about your junction J2? Junction J2 is not ready to conduct. So as long as this junction is not ready to conduct, there will not be any current flow from anode to cathode through this device. Isn't it? Because the junction J2 is blocking. It is not ready to conduct. So you can say that in this mode of operation also, the device is not conducting, or the device is under off condition, or otherwise you can say that the device is under blocking mode. Isn't it? It is not conducting because your junction J2 is reverse biased. Okay. So how can you name this mode of operation? What type of biasing is given to this device? Anode is connected to positive and cathode is connected to negative. What type of biasing? Forward biasing. And what is this device operation? Is the device conducting? No, the device is blocking. So you can call this mode of operation as forward blocking mode. Okay. So in forward blocking mode, you can say that anode is connected to the positive terminal, cathode is connected to the negative terminal, and the gate is open circuited. In such a case, junction J1 and junction J3 are forward biased. Junction J2 is reverse biased. So Since junction J2 is reverse bias, the device will not conduct, or device will be in the off condition, or we can say that the device will be in the blocking mode. So you can say that it has forward blocking mode. Okay, so we have seen forward conduction, we have seen reverse blocking mode and forward blocking mode. We have one more mode to explain and we will see to that, the third mode of operation. We will see the third mode of operation. Okay. The four layers P, N, P and N. Anode, cathode, gate. Okay. And I am drawing one connection. Okay. Now what is the additional change that I have given? Here anode is connected to the positive terminal, cathode is connected to the negative terminal. Here the gate is not open, but the gate is connected between P and this cathode. Okay. This cathode and the gate, I have given a battery like this, positive polarity to this gate terminal and the negative polarity to this cathode terminal. Okay. Again, which are our three junctions? Junction J1, junction J2 and junction J3. Okay. Now let's mark its charges. The positive terminal is connected to the P region. Obviously, this would be more positive compared to this. Okay. Here, negative terminal is connected to the N region. So, it would be much more negative compared to this. Okay. But now here you can say that in addition, here directly a positive charge is connected over here. Directly a positive charge is connected. So, positive terminal is connected here. So, I can say that it is more positive actually. And the negative is connected to the same region. So, it would be, I can say that much more negative. Isn't it? Now, let's analyze every junction. What about junction J1? Junction J1, as usual, P is more positive compared to N. So, I can say that it is forward biased. Now, junction J3. This junction J3, no doubt, P is more positive compared to N. So, this junction is also forward biased. And our crucial junction J2. What about this junction J2? Junction J2 here, and this is positive. This is more positive. Why? I have connected a gate which is connected to the positive terminal. So, in addition to this previous case there was no gate. So, here there was no positive charge. But in this case, I have given a positive terminal of the battery here. So, I can say that the P is more positive compared to N. And so, your junction J2, miraculously what happens? It has also become forward biased. So, your junction J1 is forward biased. Your junction J3 is forward biased. In addition to that, your junction J2 is also now forward biased. Now, what can happen? The current can flow from here through the anode, through junction 1, through junction 2, through junction 3 and can move back to this negative terminal. Okay, because your junction 1, junction 2 and junction 3 are now forward biased. They are ready to conduct. That means a current can flow from anode to cathode. See the direction? Current can flow from anode to cathode through the junctions J1 and J2 and J3. So, in this particular case, you can say that the device is on, or rather you can say that the device is conducting, right? The device is conducting. Now, what type of biasing is given? Anode is given to the positive terminal and cathode is connected to the negative terminal. What type of biasing? It is forward biasing. So what type of mode will be this? It would be forward. Is it forward blocking? No, it is forward conduction mode or forward conduction mode. Okay. So in forward conduction mode, what is happening? Anode is connected to the positive terminal, cathode is connected to the negative terminal, and the gate is connected between the inner P region and the cathode or the outer N region. And the junction J1, J2 and J3 will be forward biased, and the current will be flowing from anode to cathode. From anode to cathode in an SCR, and so your SCR is on and you can see your SCR is conducting. So this mode of operation is called forward conduction mode or forward conducting mode. Okay, so that is the working. This is how you can turn on an SCR. So even when the SCR is forward biased, you cannot turn it on until you provide a gate pulse. That is the peculiarity of an SCR. That means if I want to turn on my SCR, I need to provide a gate pulse, positive gate pulse to the gate between the gate terminal and the cathode terminal. Okay. Whereas in the case of a diode, when the diode is forward biased, it is on. When the diode is reverse biased, it is off. But in an SCR, in addition to the forward biasing, I need to provide a gate pulse in order to turn on this SCR. Okay, there are so many other methods to turn on the SCR that we will see to it. But for the time being, under the three modes of operation, the first one is reverse blocking mode, where the device is connected in the reverse biased condition. And the second one is forward blocking mode, where the device is connected in the forward biased condition but it is not conducting. And the third one is forward conduction mode. So in the forward conduction mode, the device is connected in the forward biased and at the same time you are providing a gate pulse also. Okay, only then you can convert a device from forward blocking mode to forward conduction mode with the help of a gate pulse. Okay, thank you.